Do my eyes deceive me? A Sonic game on a new Sega platform? How can this be? Well, that's exactly what I thought back in 1999 when the Dreamcast was about to launch here in North America. You gotta remember that being a Sega Saturn fan was a little disheartening, especially living here in Canada. It was really sad. Back in those days, we basically went without Sonic for, almost a decade, or at least it sure felt that long. So having Sonic back and in top shape was just an excellent all-around way of launching the new Dreamcast hardware. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, this game and Soul Calibur were the two that defined the entire platform and helped usher in what at the time was the next generation. But Sonic Adventure was really different, as you can tell. Number one, it was fully 3D, and while Sonic Extreme, which was it was a planned Sega Saturn Sonic game, like a 3D, sort of almost like Knights a little bit, but since that failed to actually happen,
What happened anyway?
this is really different. I mean, look at this. We have dialogue, we have text, we have story. It's all in 3D, and it is just different. It's not your traditional Sonic. There's an actual adventure mode now where Sonic has to go around through a city. He's got to pick up special things like this little eggs to open up different different stages. There's also pinball games that were sort of introduced in the Genesis games, but here they're really fleshed out. I also loved, for example, this, where Sega incorporated some of their other characters, so Nights into Dreams, directly into Sonic Adventure. It felt like Sega was saying, here we are, and we are badass, and we're back, baby. And I just could not be any more pleased. As a Sega fan, I thought the Dreamcast was it. This was their coming of age. This was like the Genesis 2. But obviously, for Sonic fans, this really was different. The focus wasn't entirely on speed. There was a whole set of different characters available to choose from, and in fact, you had no choice if you wanted to master, quote-unquote, the game. And, you know, it was a little bit different. It was a little bit jarring to some of those fans that grew up with the Sega Saturn classics. But no matter who you are, no matter what your background was, once you saw Sonic Adventure in action, most people were absolutely floored. This was one of the first fully 3D games that truly looked the next-gen part. At the time, don't forget, we were still playing the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation 1, and some of us, a few of us, were playing Sega Saturn. So when this came out, this just, shocked and amazed us. And we all know what ended up happening to Dreamcast later on. But if you were one of those lucky few that went out on September 9th, 1999 to pick up a Dreamcast along with Sonic Adventure, you were the happiest person in the whole world. This game absolutely rocks. With such varied gameplay, the new homing attack, and just such a big emphasis on speed mixed with adventure, trying new things yet retaining what worked from years past, Sonic Adventure felt like the new era of Sonic had begun. Unfortunately, the Dreamcast was so short-lived that we only managed to play one sequel, Sonic Adventure 2, before Sega lost their minds and started making the most ridiculous Sonic games of all time. And obviously, Sonic Adventure wasn't perfect. In fact, we were lucky in North America and the rest of the world that we didn't get the Japanese original version, because that one was littered with all kinds of bugs. And even this one, there are camera issues, there are a couple of speed glitches where you'll be running like this, like a bat out of hell, and then the track will suddenly just, veer off in a different direction, and you'll have a hard time adjusting the analog stick. And even the analog stick on the Dreamcast is a little floaty for my taste. But you know what? All of these things are just minor annoyances, and they're primarily, even relevant today because we've seen this gameplay perfected so much in this current generation of consoles that, it's a little obvious for us now that some of these glitches are, yeah, that's really clear. But back then it really wasn't. So that is Sonic Adventure. If you're in the mood to pick up a Sega Dreamcast, I would highly recommend you pick up Sonic Adventure because it is dirt cheap, just like the Sega Dreamcast. Really, really cheap, and I have no idea why I keep saying Sega Dreamcast instead of Dreamcast, but whatever. If you're gonna pick up a Dreamcast, I recommend you pick up Sonic Adventure for it. It's what the game was all about. It was about Sonic, it was about Sega coming together saying, we are going to dominate.